Welcome to Breathe Well Coaching. We're here to help you connect within from the comfort of your own home to help you overcome stress and anxiety through guided breath work, mindful meditation, and somatic movement practices like yoga and Pilates. You can also partner with one of our certified health and wellness coaches so that you can make positive, lasting, and sustainable changes in your health and well-being. For more details, check out breathewellcoaching.com. One myth I would love to debunk for people who are experiencing anxiety, panic attacks, breathing disorders, anybody who feels stressed and overwhelmed, is that tendency for people to tell you to take a big, deep breath. And when we do that, we take a big, deep breath, we're usually breathing in a paradoxical breathing pattern. That means you're sucking in on your inhale and you're really rising up in the chest using the neck and shoulders, which are your secondary breathing muscles, as your primary movers. We want the respiratory diaphragm muscle, which is hard to connect to. It's not like your bicep where you can see this muscle. It's hard to connect to because it's inside and it's right kind of tucked up underneath the ribs. It's this dome-shaped muscle that when you inhale, it should flatten out. Now, when that flattens out, it creates this pressure in the body. So you get a little stretch in the belly, you get a little stretch in the low back, in the mid back, and in the pelvic floor and the butt area. So this whole area here, even the chest will rise a little bit, will expand out like you're blowing up a balloon. You get inhale, open up, and you get that nice stretch from the inside out. This again is the exact opposite of taking a big deep breath where I suck in and instead of flattening out where the respiratory diaphragm would flatten out, the respiratory diaphragm drives up. And I call this getting stuck in an inhalation pattern where you feel like you keep reaching up. You can't get that satisfying breath. It can kind of turn into hyperventilation, low-grade hyperventilation. It can turn into overbreathing where you're just sighing and yawning a lot. It can turn into air hunger where you feel like you're kind of suffocating and you can't get that satisfying breath. Then your body is telling you to breathe more. So you keep breathing these big, deep breaths. Vicious cycle. All of it's doing is it's all really activating your nervous system, activating that sympathetic nervous system response and making it harder for you to downregulate, to be able to tap into that parasympathetic rest, digest, restore, recover, grounding, that type of nervous system state because you're revved up, because you're breathing in a way that is revving you up. Just like if a car came into this video right now and was like gonna hit me, I would go, right? I would take a mouth breath and I'd pull up and I'd prepare my body for fight or flight, right? That's what I don't want you doing when you are stressed. What do I want you to do instead? That 360-degree breath where you open up on the inhale and everything softens down on the exhale. This gets our respiratory diaphragm moving in the correct pattern. This is good. And what's really great about it is that the vagus nerve passes through the respiratory diaphragm. That vagus nerve connects us to the parasympathetic nervous system state. There's also another hole in the respiratory diaphragm that allows our connection to the cardiac system. So this is why when you breathe slower, you can lower the blood pressure, lower your breathing rate. Like, this is all wonderful things. I like to think of the breath this way. Without breath, there is no life. It is the number one vital sign. So if you're breathing in a way that's suboptimally, even just a little bit, or if you're doing it a lot and you're doing it throughout the day, think of how big an effect that can have on your body as well as your mind, because the breath is also connected to our emotional state. When we're scared, when we're stressed, when we're fearful, we breathe in a different pattern. And so building some awareness around your breathing biomechanics and your breathing habits can be really powerful if you're somebody who experiences a lot of anxiety, especially if you're somebody who has any one of those breathing pattern disorders that I mentioned, or other ones where they're habitually mouth breathing, where you're holding your belly in, kind of bracing for impact and constantly stomach gripping or gut sucking, you might call it. Any type of these breathing pattern isn't allowing for that natural movement of the respiratory diaphragm, and you're not getting the benefit of that vagus nerve and that nice connection to the heart. So this muscle really matters. When you inhale, let's practice together while we're here. I want you to inhale. You can touch your ribs. They're on the front and the back, and they might be really tight if you're not used to breathing this way. There's muscles in between the rib cage. I have a great yoga video on here here that's about rib cage mobility that can help you open up your ribs. So if you're new to this, it might be a little hard at first, but relax your neck and shoulders. Shut your mouth, then breathe through the nose. See how it's just a little opening? And it might not seem like a big deal. I don't want you to take a big breath. I want you to take a slow, easy, calm breath. So you breathe in, feel the opening, and then breathe out. Everything comes in. It's almost like a natural conditioning of the core too, which is a nice added benefit. So when you inhale, you open up. When you exhale, everything naturally draws in and contracts just slightly. You don't want to bear down, but that is your nice, even, equal, even pattern. That is your nice, easy, even, equal pattern. And that's what I'm looking for. Inhale 360, exhale, relax. Work on that throughout the day, especially if you notice you tend to take those big breaths. So when you're stressed, don't breathe deep, breathe low, breathe slow, 360 degrees. If you need any more help with this, have any questions or comments, my name is Coach Erin. I am a physiologist, breathing coach, and wellness coach. I also work as a corrective exercise specialist for postpartum and pregnant women. I work with all types of clients though, specifically on a breathing pattern disorder called air hunger, where somebody might feel like they can't get a satisfying breath, or they feel like they're reaching for air and they can't quite get that breath to feel like it satisfies themselves. If you know, you know. They're taking big, deep breaths, they're reaching with their inhale, and usually it feels as if they're kind of suffocating. It's quite torturous. So if you're somebody who has that low-grade hyperventilation going on, maybe even panic attacks as well, let's get connected. I offer all potential clients a 30-minute coaching call where we can get on and I can talk to you about what you're experiencing, what I do. I offer a 60-day private coaching course that is live, so it's not pre-recorded or anything. We're working together in person, and that coaching course is called Breathe Well, Live Well. And my goal is to help you overcome dysfunctional breathing patterns as well as overcome stress and anxiety using holistic lifestyle modification, so behavior change. If you have any questions or comments, let me know. I don't want to take any more of your time, but I'm really glad you're here. Breathe well.